welcome back to Death's Doors tournament for any percent, no major glitches. We have finally reached round 2 of the tournament, round 2 of the bracket. We have Vorime versus Upper today. In today's match, I'm your host, Pudding Boxes. Joining me in the commentary booth, I have Shresh. Shresh, want to say hi?
Hey, all.
And Museus.
Hello.
And yep, we have our runners. Would you like to say hi, Vorime? Would you like to say hi?
Hey, everyone.
And Upper, yes.
Hey.
All right. Okay. So, are you both on one click away from starting the game? You're both on the start?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. Varime's stream is not coming through for some reason on my screen.
Yep, let's wait a sec.
I can restart it if it's not coming.
The weird thing is that it's showing audio, but not the actual stream.
I love live events.
Yeah,
Everything's good till you press the live button.
it really was just 30 seconds ago everything was fine. Yeah, try restarting your stream real quick, see if that like refreshes it.
No problem. All right, I'm live again. Looks good in my OBS.
Yeah, but why is it not good on here?
Oh, there it is.
Right, there we go.
Just have to refresh. All right. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so you're both one click away from starting the game?
Yes.
All right, so count down to 3, 2, 1, go, and on go, you guys will go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
Luck runners. And they're off. Immediately we can see one difference, Varian playing in Chinese and Upper in English. Minor difference, but we will be noticing that throughout the run.
Yep, and the timers are pretty close, only about 4 seconds between them it looks. So we should be able to keep a decent eye on pace between the two. Not really much to talk about right here at the start. They're getting their first door in, making their way to the first split.
Well, apparently, so I looked up Bart, I was looking at wallpapers for Death's Door, and Bart, the hall cop, I'm still very curious of what he's watching. So in game, he's not really watching anything, but there's a wallpaper of him watching Titan Souls. So apparently, maybe that's what he's watching. So
maybe.
Really curious. Yeah.
Ballplart, also a fellow speedrunning enthusiast.
Apparently, yeah.
Maybe watching one of your runs, Pudding. All
Maybe, I don't
bosses,
know.
hard mode.
Both have solid DFS splits so far. Looked like Vorime had high 116, Upper had a low 117, which is really about the best that you could hope for to get consistently. I think Vorime recently got like a 114, I think.
Yep, the first 114 that we have seen. Good to see that happen. It happened a couple of times in the same stream, back to back. So, yeah, Varian's recently broken a couple of those early barriers, getting the 46 first door and the 114 DFS. So, cool to see. I knew those were possible from ComSob, the 114 especially, but good to see it happen recently. Both making their way through Cemetery, getting into the early mini arenas. Let's see how the imps and the grunts that they face behave. And how they choose to handle them. Vorime just going all the way up to the imp, not bothering to shoot it. Gets hit by a grunt. The roll slash doesn't stagger the grunt, so that can happen. Upper employing a similar strat with the imp. The grunt was a bit more troubling, but the second arena is pretty much perfect for Upper, so he will be making up some time going into the second, or rather the first big arena.
Yeah, Varime's been talking about that run up to the imp strat. For a while, we were doing the, for a long time, we've been doing kill the grunt and then try to shoot the imp from where it lands. But you end up losing a bunch of time to miss shots there. So since the grunt follows you over, Varime's been pushing to just go for the imp and let the grunt come to you.
And it's been almost universally adopted now. It seems like every racer has been doing that in the last couple of days, and like anyone that you see streaming. So I think the community as a whole did not like missing all those arrows to the headstones there. So it's good, I guess, that we are able to get a more consistent shot on the imp by running up to it first. Yeah, good arenas from both, I think. Not too much of a difference here, heading out of the Steadhorn tutorial.
Yeah, within 10 seconds of each other, it looks. One thing that I did notice, Vorime tends to roll down the stairs there by the lockstone torch, whereas Upper did the roll over the stone wall. I don't know whether the roll over the stone wall loses any time or if it's just less consistent than rolling down the stairs.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of consistency, and Vorime in this particular run did actually go over the wall as well, whereas normally, like you said, he does seem to prefer just going down the stairs normally. Seems to have adopted a different strategy for today, just did the same thing as Upper. It is just a matter of the fact that, you get stuck on top of the wall, I think, that makes it a bit less consistent, but I think both of them got it pretty fine, so no worries there. Good arena from War side there. I don't know if you noticed, Upper goes for the heavy deflect on the first mage.
I just saw that.
Yeah,
that was a little tight timing there.
But it seemed to work out well for him and gets through without a single hit taken. Vor has one hit, so not much of a difference. I don't think either of them will be feeling particularly nervous going into this fight. Both quite, I think, adept at this fight. So Vor, of course, is I believe, the progenitor of the strats that we use here. At least it's his video, which everyone has kind of learned from. So get to see it live here. This is exciting. We should note this is first seed versus 8th seed, I believe. But Upper has had a huge number of PBs recently and huge PBs, so you can't count anyone out in this fight for sure.
Yeah.
Upper going to face him from front side, though, notice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like put a pin on who came up with what strats for Guardian. At the beginning of this push for NMG, it was me, Lat, and Vorime just kind of bashing our heads against trying to get like a sub 7 Guardian split, and we all kind of came up with our own strats for doing things, and then they all just kind of got merged into one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, both runners flying through this fight.
Yeah, this has been pretty clinical show from both sides, how you can deal with symmetry. Slight differences, but both effective and fast, and that's pretty much all you need. Title scene. It's nice to see the runners are so close together.
Yeah, 15-20 second difference so far, I think.
Should be exciting to see how it develops.
And here we get to one of the longest button mashing sequences of the entire run. Right
Grey Crow seems to...
Yeah, right behind Grey Crow.
It's just Grey Crow and Grey Crow. Like, I guess they are our guide and ultimately the almost final boss kind of thing. So it is a cool thematic thing for sure. Highlighting the corruption that happens to these giant souls after being alive for very long, like our giant crow friend. I imagine Varime's going for Pothead Skip Soul. I'm not sure if Upper does. I believe he does, but let's see what he goes for here.
This is going to be a really fast cemetery split from both of them. Looks like an 834 for Vorime.
That's insane, yeah. We'd be pretty happy about that. Pretty sure that's kind of PB pace, but it's still so early that none of that really matters. But yeah, we're going for some showcasing the fast lighting of the braziers there. Instant min loaded arrow shots, I guess. That's as little as you can charge them.
Yeah, and that was we've gone back to doing this separate torch lighting here. For a while there was light the first torch and then roll towards it and shoot through the gate to the second torch to save a little bit of like mana, I guess, getting close to the mushrooms there. And at some point we just kind of switched back to doing the two separate torches nearly as intended. That was, I believe, 2 first try pothead skips for Vorime. Upper gets up onto the pot on 1 try, but then has to try twice to get onto the hedge, which really is not much time loss.
That was a really nice charge deflect by Vor to simultaneously get the grunt, the heavy on the grunt as well. Cleans up this grunt to get some mana and just some extra soul, so he won't need to kill as much stuff on left side. Let's see how Upper deals with right side here. One of the archers might be out of range. Now he's gonna have to take some time to clean up this first arena.
Yeah, shot a little too early on the explosive pot there. The grunt wasn't in range to get killed, and the archer was in a bad position. This is a bad position to be in for Upper.
2 mages alive, 1 health. Should be able to clean one of them up here potentially. No, not yet. Just 1 hit away for the other. There you go. 1 health going into left side is scary. There's many places where you're locked into animations, just flying projectiles from the mage, so let's see how Upper handles all of this. Vor's kind of flying through side, as you would expect. With full health, he can be very carefree. It's much easier to deal with left side. He's got plenty of soul. Should be feeling pretty happy about that. Upper is just going to clean out the mage here, since...
Yeah, no reason to risk getting sniped by a stray bullet.
That mage is able to give him some extra mana here. So no reason not to kill it early, especially since he'll be spawning a few more here. Missing a few first hits, which he won't be feeling too good about, but in this situation, just getting through a state will be primary on his mind.
Yeah, speaking of getting through a state, that was a 1205 estate split for Vorime.
It's just flying. I think having seen so many people PB in race, he's just motivated to get it himself as well.
Really wants that sub 17.
Yep. He has been grinding for it. So close to it also. Of course, viewers will be aware that PB for Vor, of course, is a recce as well. He is the world record holder in this category. It bears stating that, even though it is obvious to everyone. This is a excellent runner who, yeah, there you go, very clean first wave in Crow 1, as Upper is just entering a state. About a minute gap between them already, just about less than a minute. The estate kind of did add a bunch of separation because Upper went down to 1 HP very early, had to play cautiously throughout the majority of his state.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to make some time up here, being back at full health, able to just run full speed.
Banner is nice in that you do get some heals, not as nice as Lockstone and not as bad as Dungeon, so somewhere in the middle in terms of the heals that you get. Yeah, let's see how these runners deal with the various Crow Souls. Both have done enough runs through early game to have this fairly down pat, all the strategies. So
Upper doing the roll slash heavy light there. I forget who was talking about the doing the light attack first does not kill the enemy, whereas if you do the heavy attack first, it does.
Yep. It's one of those weird things about the rounding errors with that bot in particular, and it definitely happens a lot because the attack pattern, it's the only enemy you want to get the correct slashes down there. But yeah, Vor having a clean Crow on single Licky Tongue poses no threat probably to either of these runners. Let's see how Upper gets through it. Vor's going to get into the thick of things though now, with Crow 2 and Crow 3 being the two splits, which kind of are a back-to-back gauntlet. They have to get through a bunch. They are the toughest splits in Manor. Most people, I think, would agree. The grunts and the big part and the imp loft, everything coming together to be quite a melange of horribleness, I guess.
Yeah, there's not really any easy rooms in this split.
Except the scene. I was wondering if you would. Makes a lot of sense again in a race situation. Definitely not Vor solo grinding strategy, but in the race situation he does adapt. Especially going for this quick kill, trying to get it before it even has a chance to start thinking about spinning.
Yeah, it did get pushed out of the first spin, so got clipped. If you roll through the spin attack there, it does make you immune to the rest of the animation, but if you leave the circle, you will get hit when you re-enter it.
Pretty clean, imp loft. Upper had a clean Crow one. Also, he missed a couple of hits, but nothing too major, so keeping good pace. Let's see how Big Pot works for Upper. Upper, of course, has come up, was the one who labbed out the new strat, I guess, Upper strat for a Big Pot, which we'll see showcased right here. It's a very nice strat. It gets a very consistent and clean kill on Big Pot by baiting it into the corner there, full charging a heavy and killing it off before it's able to start the second attack. It's slightly slower than killing it, pretty much by going into its attack and attacking during the entire time. Upper does back off a little during the spin portion. Makes it very consistent and comfy also, but does lose a slight bit of time. Very consistent and very cool strat. One of the cooler new strats, I would say, that's come out in recent times.
Yeah, it does mean that you're going to be almost definitely at full health and full mana going into Imp Loft, which is really important considering each of the bats, each swing returns 1 mana, whether you hit 1 bat or 4 bats. So it's really just kind of you want to have as much mana as you can get going into that room.
Yeah, clean Impulse from upper and very nice Crow 3 from Vor there. Let's do turn red, which means he's very slightly behind, I guess.
Yeah.
But it seems
Looks
to be
like-
just a few seconds off Reki, so that's not bad at all. Heading up to Crow 4 as upper is going towards the grunt in Crow 3. He's shooting some key pots on both sides here. Nice shot there.
Yeah, getting the 2 grunts at the end, shooting between them. Kind of expected auto aim to steal one of those.
Yeah, very well done. He played it patiently. It looked like he lined up the shot for a second before letting it go, so probably meant for that to happen. Very nice. Kills the Lickitung off before any more grunts can spawn. It's pretty much all that you need really there.
Yeah, still less than a crow.
Oh.
Ooh.
Vor getting influenced by Key here. Key, look what you've done. In doing these sketchy rolls, we did see Key doing these and fall off yesterday as well. Vor going for the same thing, falling off.
And then he just did it again the second time. I was didn't learn from his mistakes.
It's just time loss on principle. So, ultimately, this will save time, so it's just going to keep attempting it till it does. But yeah, that was spooky. Just trying to generate some drama for us here.
Yeah, so that was a 21 crow from Vorime. Upper still made up a little bit of time with that fall from Vorime, but still looks like it's about a minute behind on upper side.
I would imagine so. I haven't seen many people with the pace in mana, just the level of optimization of movement through the rooms, just as well as the combat. The combat, of course, we all know, but just if you notice the movement as well, it does save a lot to be getting through those puzzle rooms, doing stuff quickly, and knowing exactly what you need to do going into every room. Let's see if he gets a double kill. That's the one.
Wait.
Good cleanup though, as well as that you can do. At some point, I think maybe you want to shoot an arrow on the second mage immediately to get it spinning, so you can reach it. Or just basically something to get it into the spinning animation. Wow, really cool strats here from Vor.
Yeah, the double deflect into that one pot was, I don't know if it was intentional. It looked kind of overkill, but it also looked kind of cool.
It definitely looked cool. I don't think you need 2 heavies on that part, because I'm pretty sure 1 heavy, and after that just a regular heavy from your sword kills it, so it's overkill, but it's cool. Cool is all that matters. And this is a very clean Ava one so far. Gets hit once just as I say that.
Shresh's curse continues.
It really does. $42. It's going to be pretty happy with that time.
And as we have Vorime leaving Avarice, we have upper entering it. Some of these deflects from upper are so close. It's like the bullet is inside of the crow's head when it gets deflected.
Calculated, of course. Clean through these waves though. Nothing except those couple of deflects getting close to him. Not too sketchy right there, getting close, but does roll away. onto the last. This, of course, is probably the most complex wave in this Avarice, hardest to deal with, so it all really comes down to how fast you can get through this. Gets it before the Mickey tongue closes down. Gonna have basically about a minute and some behind. Minute and 10 seconds behind, so
keeping the gap all the way through.
Very close. I don't think either of them messed up in Spider Lair enough to warrant skipping Spider Souls. Sorry, did I say in Imploft? Neither of them messed up in Imploft enough that they have enough souls to skip Spider Lair. So I imagine both of them are going for it.
Is that the determining factor then? How many imps you have to kill?
In a race situation, it may happen, right? That you mess up Imploft enough that, you know, maybe normally you would have reset at that point, but you have to continue, and you just had to kill everything in Imploft. So at that point, you probably have enough soul to break even and just be able to get the Ava 2 souls. And according to War's commentary yesterday, it seems like it saves about 8 seconds in the ideal conditions. So it is one of those race time decisions that you can make, I guess. And I wonder how many runners we will see. We have already seen Marcus do that as well. And I believe in another race, Jay did that, but I might be mistaken on that.
Yeah, we do see both runners going for it today. Like you said, had pretty smooth implofts, so not guaranteed to be the correct move.
It does require you to be a bit more conservative through here and like not just run through, actually try to kill the grunts in ruins. But with getting Spider Lair, you can afford to maybe, if you miss a grunt, not feel too worried. Speed is all that will be in Vor's mind as he's making his way through ruins.
Yeah, I get the max range shot on that bomb plant.
Yeah, that was lovely actually. It's just at the end. After a point, even though it looks like it hits it, it actually doesn't hit it. Vor goes back and cleans out those 2 grunts while the key pickup animation is happening. And more of them here, just being very, very safe with soul. I actually didn't see his soul count. Maybe he was a little low going through manner, so.
Yeah, Vorime does have a very good feel for how many souls are needed to reach the threshold when you're leaving the overgrown ruins. So it's possible that he was just a couple short and recognized that. Missing twice. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. There we go. 6th try.
6th first try. There you go. Yeah, that does happen, and you do get stuck in that loop because the marginal time loss of doing every additional one is still less than going all the way around. And as a speedrunner, you believe that you will get it the exact next time. You don't really think it can keep happening. There's no way that could happen to me, but sometimes it does happen. You get stuck in that loop. More managing to make his way out, that's all that matters. Staircase arena time. Gonna wait for the grunt to show up before slashing it concurrently with the flame plant. Upper, meanwhile, is making his way through this wall skip and the sketchy vines at the top. Clean arena from Vor. That arena's got pretty much very scripted strats. Can always bait the AI. You may have to wait a few seconds here and there for them to actually show up and come to you, but it's pretty safe. Upper not going for bomb wall skip, just it will be probably making up time regardless on Vor here by just going all the way around.
Yeah, I think, what was it, 2 or 3 tries is about equal to just going around, so saving 3 attempts worth of time.
Definitely looked a lot faster. We were counting for a long time, it felt like.
Yeah.
It probably felt more of an eternity for Vor, but let's see how this... we have arenas on both sides going on.
Oh,
Oof.
rough deflect there.
Oh,
Gets hit
double.
again. Gets hit
Oh
again.
no, this is a bad place to be, but has a seed that he's just gonna plant here. I missed if he picked up seed earlier. And his, funnily enough, his seed count is slightly hidden behind the hour leaf design, so I can't tell how many seeds he has.
Yeah, I guess that is something we're gonna need to adjust for future runs. Being able to see that seed count is kind of important.
But it's unfortunate that he had to use one very early here, but not have wanted to use that in ruins. You want to get through ruins smoothly, cleanly. Every hit you take is also time loss. Especially when Vor had a very, very clean ruins. Nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing went wrong.
Yeah, not horribly behind though still. Again, the gap on this is staying pretty much constant throughout.
That damage tank really doesn't matter there. I will not be feeling bad about that. Uses the bomb from one to bait the other. And kills off the plant. Kind of very similar to the script that we saw on Vor's side. It does seem to be somewhat of a standard by now. And Upper has studied, I'm pretty sure he studied all of Vor's videos. He has been grinding all the new strats, which we've been seeing in Recce runs recently. And we will see Upper go for them. I believe in dungeons, the strat of hitting the hammer bro, we will see it probably on both sides. Gauntlet, Betty roll skip, and using the heavy to move from side to side, we will probably see both runners do that as well. So both runners are very well versed in everything there is to know about this game and how to play this game. So it's very exciting, very close.
Yeah, especially as of today, every single split on the comm sub sheet now has a video. So anybody that is trying to study for this will have a bookmarked reference of the best strats on every single split.
Nice. That is a quest that has been ongoing to finally get videos. Because a lot of those have been from a long time ago before we even had a comm sub sheet. So it's nice that we have that handy resource here. Perfect first crow from Vor, pretty much. Makes it look consistent, makes it look like it's easy to do that. Trust me, it's not easy. If you can do it, you have to practice, you have to put in the work, and Vor has definitely done that, and it shows there. It just looks so comfy. It's a walk in the park for him to get through that arena perfectly. But anyone who's looking to study up, you could have just watched that right there and learned everything you really needed to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of patience waiting for those fire spiders to shoot at you that you end up sitting there like, do I really have to wait for this? Could I just run up and kill them? But it's everything about spiders in this game is just completely inconsistent, so it is much better to sit there and wait for them to shoot at you.
Anyone who was seeing would have noticed that Vor killed those hammer bros by with maybe what looked like fewer hits than you would have seen before if you've just been breaking the shield. You'll notice that he has been breaking the shield, but also simultaneously hitting a heavy on the side to get the damage in of doing the heavy, as well as breaking the shield. It has a double effect, does the damage, does the break as well. So it's able to do it super fast.
Almost getting the spider there.
Oh no, that one spider that missed the deflect just also proved to be a bully thereafter, avoiding the auto aim. We'll probably see these hammer bro strats right here. You do see more go for it again, just gets hit once before the last hit on the hammer bro, and then a bit of a mess trying to clean up the flame plants. Those flame plants can be really annoying if you aren't able to get the deflect back on them immediately. Upper missed the roll skip, I believe, and had to go, or did he have to?
Ooh. For him taking a second hit there.
Oof. Will he take the heal now? I wonder.
I have a feeling that he will. He has an extra seed that he picked up from the crates in Manor.
That's true.
And no matter how consistent your water arena is, going in on 2 health is a little spooky. There it is. Picking up the heal.
No shortcuts, and it is a race. Getting Womboed and Crowfor would mean pretty much the race would be flipped, I imagine, in that situation, because walking back to Crowfor is the worst walk of shame in this game, honestly. I don't think there are many worse ones. Maybe if you die in Ice Arena and you haven't opened any shortcuts, that can feel worse, but this one is
dying right before the horn in Overgrown Ruins.
Oh my goodness, that we have seen, and that was really unfortunate to see, so I kind of blocked that out of my memory. Upper Vord does let the mage go for 1 teleport there. They did spawn, really unfortunately, both over the water. Does he manage to get the last hit off? Yeah. Goes on the left of this Hammer Bro as well. Gets a very quick kill. He's gonna maybe fall in the water? No.
I'm noticing he's starting these combos off with a light attack, which lets you get 3 damage in before breaking the shield, whereas starting with a heavy would just give you the 2.
Actually, if you somehow manage to be far enough to its right and your left, you can keep on comboing it and just never break its shield almost. I've definitely gotten it 4 or 5 hits even without breaking the shield.
Yeah, we were
practicing it like recently. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we were talking about doing that when people were first like learning the patterns for the Hammer Bros. It was like maybe we could just not fight the shield and just combo it all around, but it was just such a scary strat to do when, again, we were all learning the combos.
Definitely. I think now that people like War have been pushing it so much, I think they're going for riskier and riskier strats because those are the only time saves they have left. That seems to be what's happening now. And we do see that happen in like the last Lord. At that point, you're kind of using your health as a resource, which like we do that, but we haven't been doing that so much, right? We do kind of try to play a clean, hitless fight, just get through it all, and not do super risky strats. It does seem to be moving towards a higher risk for a higher reward thing here. Gets hit here in Ava, while we have Water Arena on the other side, so bunch of exciting action. Last wave for Upper.
Yeah, Upper had a really fortunate mage spawn there. The 2 mages spawned right in the corner, and he was able to just use 2 heavies and wipe them both out right up front.
It does feel nice. The spiders and this Ava have not been kind so far. It's taken a couple of hits from the spiders and the big bird, but this last wave is pretty consistent usually, unless you miss a deflect. I didn't want to say anything just in case of the jinx, but it worked out. Neither runner had the opportunity to be like on low enough health in the water arena to do the death warp, so not going to see that this run. That's actually a very good sign that both runners have been fairly comfy so far. There have been some close calls, Upper notably going down to 1 health in his state, for example, but nothing too scary, very clean. Both runners in the same spot for a second there, one entering and one leaving.
Yeah, Vorime going for the lower orb, does not go for the top orb. Their timers are basically synced up now, which I believe is just Vorime has always kind of had longer load times for this game. So I have a feeling that we'll see the timer drift further and further apart.
Upper does go for the elite archer first, but the grunts were closing in, so he was a little hesitant in cleaning them up, had to back off a little. Let's see how the spiders go. He's kind of stuck around the lantern, which is not a good place to be.
Yeah, just had 3 heavies there without any spiders getting hit, which is a rough time. Rolling past the poison there.
Does clean it up. I won't be able to get the last one. It seemed like he almost deliberately delayed his roll to roll past the poison and did not want to go for the deflect strat. I'm not sure if that was deliberate or just something that just was a delay in processing. And that does happen often, that you do miss the roll just because you're late in realizing what is happening and how to react to it. So I'm not sure whether he does that always. We will see in the next race as well how he handles it.
Yeah, it could also be something to do with if you do a light attack to deflect and you don't hit all 3 of the poison balls, I don't think you're guaranteed the kill on the poison mage. So it might have just been he didn't think that he had enough time to get a heavy out and didn't think he was in range of getting the triple deflect.
That could be it, yes. We're heading into Stranded Sailor, both of them in the hookshot split now. One thing which will be interesting to see is a new strat which pretty much is kind of fresh off the press, a couple days old. Both runners will be death warping after Eva 3, something to keep an eye out. We will talk more about it when we get there, but exciting stuff. New old discoveries, more stuff that we've known for a while, but implementing just now, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, a lot of this tech is stuff that like was part of the route before, and then it got rerouted and we needed to grab some orbs, and then we couldn't do the fun tech anymore, and now that we don't get the orbs, we're finally realizing that we could go back to the fun old tech.
Makes sense. Notice Vor did not go for the strat. He hesitated for a second on that puzzle, but then realized he was already too late. Went for the old school, go the long way around the puzzle. He has been going for the fast strats there, but noticed that second of hesitation and then chose not to go for it. Clean Crow 1 means he gets to walk out of here instead of saving pudding, which ideal. And that's kind of looks like what he got there. Yeah, you do already see Vor's clock lagging slightly behind Upper's.
Yeah, and the longer the game runs, the slower the load times get, so...
Both runners did get the barb bomb wall before she sees you. It's the most important skip. Saves the most time in the run.
The whole text box.
Oh no. Oh no, War's not gonna get up the ladder. Is he? He does.
Oh, he made it.
Clutch. Clutches it out. Yesterday, Valcomi, he made the comment that if you miss it first time, there's no way you're ever gonna get it. And he just proved us wrong there, so... Or he proved himself wrong there, so... Good to see that happen. Bomb strats here.
A really clean crow fight. And a really fortunate mage spawn as well.
Lead archer. Did not get the full heavy, so had to get the third hit. But there's really nothing to say about that. That was pretty clean. Upper heading into Crow 1. Neither runner went for fast strats, which I know Upper has also been doing Crow 1 fast strats. The puzzle, that is. Just makes sense. That is the riskier of the newer puzzle strats. Oof, gets sniped by the projectile. That always feels bad.
I'm kind of curious if Vor's crow there was a gold. He did not lose time to PB, but I don't know what PB was for Vorime. whether it
I
was
don't-
close to gold.
Not sure either. He will go for the fast strats here. These ones are fairly comfy. Gets them clean. You have to wait that little bit. That was deliberate to let the switch come up, but very clean. Upper going to head to Crow 3 himself. Crow 2. Oof.
That could go really wrong really quickly. If you miss the second shot, then you end up having to run all the way back. And if you wait a little bit too long charging your shot, then you fall down into the void and have to respawn. But Vorime was able to recover, only misses one, and is able to pick the second one up without any issues.
Nice double. Oh, that was a very clean finish to the fight. The spiders behaved perfectly, which is just part of it, but recognizing that he could do that is also a good part of that. The charge slash, the roll slash on the mage, killing the spiders simultaneously, and then the heavy on the hammer bro killing the other spider. Upper having a very clean start here as well. Does get the full heavy on the elite archer, so can immediately shift focus to the golden hammer bro. Does get hit once, but doesn't matter because you only need those 5 hits. So very clean. Just in general, clean play from both sides. It's been a lovely thing to watch.
Yeah, this is a really clean run from both runners.
I don't think either of them taking anything for granted today. Both know that a lot is on the line, and both know that the other runner is a big competitor. Let's see how this works out for Vor. Gets the deflect. Another one of the cooler, newer strats, I guess. Not as new as some of the other ones we've been talking about, but definitely looks so cool to get the deflect on the mage at the same time as the getting the heavy on the roller. Last wave at this point, this crow is done. There's not much more to say there. Upper also going for the fast strats here, by the way, so, and he does get it cleanly as well. Has the 3 hits he needs, so kind of a bit spookier to miss this. Gets it first try. Notice Upper will switch to bombs here and keep an eye out. He does do something interesting, which I think is pretty cool. It does maybe lose some time in this particular situation because he has to bomb that, but he uses his bomb to finish off that backpack. Very cool, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious what that's like.
Upper is very creative in coming up with these new strats. It's been lovely to see. So the last wave he doesn't go for the mage, which might be the one slight downside, but I also kind of I'm curious, right? It feels like it should be faster to immediately kill. You can keep your bomb ready to go, right? Before the roller even spawns in, so it's not that much of a time loss to have the bomb charge time there. Interesting strat.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of spots where we can use bombs that, like, the bomb takes so long to charge up, right? That you just don't want to use it unless you have to. But maybe in between more waves, we'll see a shift towards using more bombs.
One enemy which I in particular found very useful, for which I found bombs very useful rather, was these boomerangs that Vor was just fighting, because it stuns them even when they're charging up their boomer throw. The boomer throw is so annoying, right? And it stuns them in the middle of that animation. By the way, Upper getting the perfect strats here as well. Very clean crows on both sides and avarices. But yeah, the bomb stuns the boomer. It was something I only realized when doing recent Umbrella speedruns, because at that point you just have magic to depend on. Yeah, very clean Eva from Vor, of course, and very, just as I say it, gets clipped by the halberd, but small time loss there.
Yeah, up until that, it was borderline perfect crow.
Oh, there's
Death Warp from Vorime. I'm curious, I see him just walking off the side. Are you able to put any roll inputs in before you get control would it be faster to just kind of mash through that, or is it just?
It doesn't actually, and I believe Pudding can confirm, but I think your roll, the control for being able to roll comes after that point. You're already close enough to the edge that you fall off, but Pudding can probably confirm.
I think it's after.
Because
Yeah,
I know
makes
that
sense.
glitch runners do this, I believe. So yeah. I think it's kind of what happened to Kipo yesterday, where you're just moving forward, and before you can really do anything, it just you're already falling off the edge. It works out well for us there, but it is one of the weird things about this game that you get movement control and you can't really roll and do stuff before the screen even shows up. It's still black.
Yeah, what was the first race that we watched where there was a death in Flooded Fortress to that? Just walking off the edge before it
Yep.
before Vision came back.
In the I believe in that pink's in the water area, yeah. Let's see how Ava treats Upper. Gets the heavy deflect, which Vor did miss in his first wave. Second wave. Let's see how. Oh wow, nice couple of deflects there. Misses the heavy, but cleaning up this halberd in this wave is really not the worst, because you can use the green projectiles as well, as long as they're around. Did get hit once.
I like how many heavies Upper uses for all of these grouping the enemies, rather than like taking 2 or 3 hits and maybe missing one of the enemies, just constantly chaining heavies together for the AoE boost.
Ooh, we're going for the diagonal puzzle strip there. Cool to see. But he had a very clean split. No real mistakes there. Mistakes are what kind of define that split apart from that, so. As long as you do everything clean, it is a fairly consistent split. Upper's Death Warp as well. Cool to see that as soon as we find these things, they're getting immediately adopted. It does help that they're getting a lot more airtime with the tourney and just people being more active and excited around this time. So
Yeah, this tournament really has done a ton for pushing times lower across the board.
The one thing about the death, I'm not sure if plunging attack would be quicker. I didn't really time it, but you'd think it'd be quicker, but I don't. It's so hard to tell. I don't know.
The plunging attack actually has a little bit of hang time that you don't normally have.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the bottom of the box is that triggers the void out animation, because I think that we've decided that the plunging attack, even just coming from like top of the spider lair ladder, isn't a long enough distance for the hang time to be worth it.
Plunging attack isn't faster, is it? I thought it still descends at the same velocity that just normally falling down does. It just looks faster and it has the hang time and the thing at the bottom. I might be mistaken on that, but that was my impression.
It's possible. I don't know.
Think so. I think so too, Shush. Yeah, like what you said.
I'm just basing this on what I understood from one of Vijo's videos about arcs, where I learned about arcs. So shout out Oof. Yeah, that's kind of what defines the splits, is these 3 mini skips that you have to do, and whether you're able to nail all of them first try. Upper missing on that first roll.
Yeah, was able to get the first diagonal hook shot, but does not go for the second one either. That we saw Vorime going for from the first anchor to the third one next to the key.
Yep, that one is also a cool one. I've seen a lot of runners hit that switch before arrowing back to the central one. You should definitely arrow back and get yourself moving before hitting the switch for mana, but that's a very small thing. I think it's just one of those instinctive things that you want to hit the switch as soon as you're next to it. In that particular case, it does lose some amount of time. We do have watchtowers on Vor's side. Some good action. Upper is cleaning up on his elevator split. Oh no. Yep, That is one of the unfortunate things that grunts can do. They can just bully you off the roof. Not the smoothest start to Watchtowers that Vor would have been looking for. Missing one hit on the halberd, but clean otherwise. Arena should, as long as he doesn't get hit. This is playing it a lot closer than I've seen him play before to the laser. So he's trying to again give us some drama.
It looked like he got the shield there, like right on the edge of the range, which I guess because he was in front wouldn't have mattered anyway, but that was really just like the hitbox wouldn't have even touched the enemy in the first place.
Nice cycle. That's really all you want in this arena, is for the boomers to line up. It does require you to show up at the top of the ladder at a particular time, so there is movement and timing to that. In the prior area, very good execution there. Though. Is he gonna go for the roll?
Oh,
No.
I was kind of hoping he would do the windmill skip there.
Does not trust it enough, and you can understand why. It is a little scary. You really have to be at the edge of the ledge, I think. I think you can have a consistent setup for it, but choosing not to do it in a race, I guess, probably a smart thing. You have upper end camp. Very peaceful split on upper side and very manic on Vor's side. At this point, you're just on ice, literally. Mashing and slashing.
Yeah, praying that you get all the mages before they despawn and follow you into Ice Arena.
Heal or no heal? I imagine no heal.
On 3 health, I think that he just goes. No, going for the
very
heal.
Safe. I think he's hoping that he can get through hitless and get into Betty without having to save quit. Maybe that's the thought in his mind, but let's see how he, or even if not hitless, just bank up his health right here and go into Betty without any save and quits.
Yeah, he does also have 3 seeds left after that, which is going for the
almost got away. Almost got away. But did recover that. That is a good display of what you can do to back up if the mage does. If you do down slash too early, it can happen. If you aren't able to get your slashes off early enough, the crow will down slash earlier than you expected. In that case, just hook again, and it works. Upper going for the early hook on the halberd, the one that you showed us, Museus, the other day.
Yeah, I do like that strat. It just kind of looks more fun to me.
It looked really clean.
The side-by-side does end up being like maybe a couple frames difference, but it's a lot more fun in my opinion.
It does look very cool, especially since the halberd only gets 1 attack off in that case as opposed to 2, so it looks like you owned it a lot more. Oh no, this is a bad place. Upper has been triple tapped here before and died. Took a couple of hits in Laser Arena itself, so not the best. You just want to get through these boomers because you have a heal, you have a Kronk after this. And the boomers are somewhat okay to deal with as long as you avoid their projectiles. They are kind of unpredictable. They just move back towards the boomer, but the boomer is also moving sometimes. Gets through.
Yeah, uses the hook shot a lot there to balance out the, rather than trying to stay right underneath, using the hook shot to get back in range and just playing it safe.
Smart conservative play there. We have very clean Betty fight. There's nothing wrong about that. Just I couldn't really tell if he got all the heavies to be fully charged in between, but pretty much killed it as soon as it started its tantrum phase, which is a good indication that it went well.
Yeah, that's about as fast as you can. I don't know if you can get it before that attack starts.
Yep, and it was pretty much as soon as it started. Ice skating, meanwhile, for Upper, he has the full health already, so will not have to really worry about taking the heal. This section is a little harder to get hit on, but anything is possible, especially with grunts getting stuck in icicles. As I say it, I do think the grunt was there in the icicles, but thankfully did not block upper.
I do want to point out that Vorime is currently only 40 seconds behind world record going into this, and upper is not that far behind.
Nice. Both of them going for the same left side platform strats, so the TFT strats, so-called. Upper having an easier time of the mages for sure, right there. Upper is another one of those runners who has done a bunch of IL practice, and you can see it really just does work, right? Practice is a evil word, but it just works. It makes you a better runner. Oof. Took a while to get to the boomerang, which is why the boomer had decided to actually start its throw attack. Normally it doesn't happen if you just reach it super early in that wave. So upper will face the same question, I guess, of 3 health Betty or not, if he gets through this, I guess. Never mind. Sorry, Vijay, you were saying.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know, it feels like it's been longer, but it looks like Upper's first run on the leaderboards was only about a month ago. So coming this far in a month is crazy progress.
It is amazing. But anyone who's seen Upper for a while will know that he's a very experienced speedrunner. He has run many games, not just that store, of course, but many more games, from Hollow Knight to Guacamelee to FTL to Grease. These are the ones that I know off the top of my head that I've seen him run, but sure there's many more. So very experienced runner, and just has a good approach to learning and approach to speedrunning. You can see it come to the fore here. He's improved his PB dramatically during this tournament. We saw that 4-minute PB, I believe, or something crazy like that in the race.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're on pace for another one here.
Clean fight, just beautiful. More going through Fortress. Got through most of the platforming section, which is the sketchy part. Now he just has to get gate skip, and then it's on to the real part of the combat part of Flooded Fortress.
Yeah, Vor did come up with the right side gate skip here, right? Just doing the safe fall back there. No need to worry about falling into the water.
And he has a keyboard set up for it. That's why you can see it's so speedy. Just roll right, hold left, and then roll down. Very clean execution. Didn't look like there was any trouble at all. And yeah, maybe we can agree to call it water side versus land side to get past the cardinality issues. But yeah, very clean entrance. Takes the door, which I wonder if he would have done otherwise in a PB pace. But again, race situations demand that you do take that door. Nice. Threading in the deflect before killing off the grunt last second. No attempts at elite archer hookshot here. Not even thinking about it. Because I don't think he even looked to see, but probably it was, probably he did, and maybe he was out of position.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he has a tied sum of best using, or a tied gold using the elite archer skip and not using it, so might just not be worth going for it.
I was worried about getting hit by the
3
arrows.
There it is.
It's hard when you have to adjust quickly to incoming projectiles. It does make that section a little bit of a scary, like, bullet hell movement for a second. Oh, thought he was going to get hookshot off the platform there, but recognizing that he was close to the edge and backs off. after he's done a little bit of damage. He will turn this, or attempt to turn this arena into an auto-scroller, as the enemies do spawn on delays, giving you time to clean up the waves pretty much as they spawn. You can see him preemptively moving to each spawn spot, and here you go. That's pretty much the limit of how fast the arena can go, just because of how it works.
Yeah, if you're killing the last mage as it spawns, that's not much else you could do.
Yeah, there's 2 waves there in, I guess, so both of them end with a mage, as long as you kill both of those mages as fast as you can, and the wave continues to the next one. That's the metric to define that arena. It's pretty cool. It's one of the different mechanics that makes this game fun and interesting. Ice Arena has the extra spawn. This one has kind of the auto-scroller thing. Vor going for the left side here. I imagine he's not planning to do his strats of trying to bait the bomb onto the Frog King, because usually if he's doing that, he does try to get the juggles on the right side. It is a minor difference. You can usually get a clean kill within a few seconds, regardless of that self-damage from the Frog King's spit attack, which we will see in a few seconds on the left side of this arena. But we're doing a really good job getting the bomb into the Frog King's mouth, which stuns it and gives you ample opportunity for a free damage cycle. Oh my god, yeah, there was no need for any self-damage.
Fast king.
That was about 3 or 4 platforms before the self-damage would have even been possible, so yeah. No need for any those shenanigans, just kill them quickly. Now, for a second I thought Upper was gonna get hit by the grunt. Rolls away. Needs to bait out the boomer. Gets sniped once, needs to hook before the boomer gets away at that point. That's really all you need. Eat the damage and continue. Wall is gonna help him clean up the mages right here. Very nice of them to spawn, so that he can clean them up without too much time loss. Will make his job at Mage Hook a lot easier.
Vorime had a little bit of trouble getting into the observation rooms there. Took all four fireballs to light the 2 torches.
Upper wasn't too health, takes the heal pre-arena. Does not go for the pot in the arena. Swag strats. More.
He's making up time against world record. He's currently only 30 seconds behind versus the 40 from earlier.
He did say that Reki's time save is in Fortress, I believe, so maybe that's kind of what he was banking on, is to save that time in Fortress. Oh, yeah. This last arena going pretty well for Upper, hasn't taken a hit, and should be in position to clean everything up. As I say that, it's just about slightly too slow, but...
You really gotta stop talking.
No, man, what is this? It's like the game is listening to me and it's like, oh, you said that? Well, screw you in particular. I'm just going to do the opposite thing. But yeah, Upper does have a good time in Fortress besides that last hit, and it's going into Frog King. Did take the save and quit, by the way. Wasn't comfortable going in at 3 health. And makes sense, you can get womboed by Frog King very easily if they decide to make you fall in the water and then sit on you.
Yeah, can you take 3 damage at once if you get bombed into the water? Or is it only 2?
I think if you get bombed into the water damage gets iframed out of the bomb, because I've noticed that at least happen that if I get hit and then fall in the water doesn't damage me. But if I fall in the water and then Frog King falls in me, that does, which, you know, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let's see how Upper deals with Frog King though. In this side, all you really need is to not fall in the water and get the bomb in. Staying away from the edge, getting a few heavies preemptively. I think he's got a good enough damage here that he should be able to get through. With the kill on this left side, misses the first heavy, but still should be fine. There's that self bomb.
Yep, still
Nice.
finishes it before the attack goes through, which is good to see.
War has been hitless through Furnace so far. So, that's kind of all you really want. Get the cycles, don't get hit. And don't fall off this platform at key points. That was one of the spookiest things I've ever seen, which happened in the run yesterday. It's made me scared for that room for the rest of my existence playing this game. War was not able to get the fast light in the second one.
Yeah, I had to wait out that last one. Only had 1 mana left, which was a little stressful.
Thankfully, not choosing to YOLO it and try to light the last one fast anyway. Because in that situation, if you miss, can be bad. Misses this cycle by just a hair, so we'll have to wait for this piston. But, hit the first fast cycle though, so 50-50 room. Upper making his way through observation as Vor is going to head into Grandma. Will he take the door? I believe he will. That door is one of those which, because it's closer to where you want to go after the split, it just makes sense to never skip it.
Was Upper alternating heavies and lights there on the moving platform?
Looked like it, right? I'm not sure. We'll see what he does in this room right here. It looks like he's doing 2, 3. No, there he did 3. Okay, not sure. I have seen some runners, in particular, Scrub Lord, I believe, who does like 2 at a time. It just goes for 2 because with 3 you do get that little cooldown time when you can't do a slash. With 2, you can kind of have some sort of metronomic thing going where you... Wow, that was a clean fight from Vor, by the way.
Yeah, 1 swing away from avoiding the Nova.
That was really clean. I kind of lost my train of thought, but just watching that fight, I really like what Vor does when Grandma sweeps across. If you notice, he kind of rolls out of her way just before she sweeps across, and that puts him in range to get 1 slash off while she's sweeping across, and just 1 additional damage, but he still goes for it. It's good to see that that level of optimization. Upper got a clean early light on this furnace, so I'm gonna save time on Vor there, who was struggling with that particular brazier. Is very hard to light. Will he get on top also? Yes, this is very clean first arena from Upper. Makes up some time for sure here. And that can definitely happen in Furnace. Is just if you hit all the cycles and your opponent hits Fear, you're just getting a free 10 seconds on them off that. So things can turn a little bit here. Especially since Vor is heading into a fight where things have historically gone wrong for runners, including himself, so just always a scary split to fight against Grey Crow.
Yeah, this is probably the highest risk that Vorime has of dying throughout this whole run. And also the most button mashing that exists in the whole game. Upper stuck on hookshot there for a second, trying to light the furnace with piece of metal does not really work.
glitch strats. He just needs a brazier here. It is one of the weird nuances of the game that the hookshot can light stuff, but you, similar to how you light your arrow on fire by dipping it in a brazier, you can do it with the hookshot. Makes a lot of sense, you know. Metal just catches on fire when you put it in fire. Totally makes sense. Don't ask questions.
Gets that purple pot, killing 2 of the grunts. Does not need any more soul at this point, but still fun killing enemies on the way through.
2 out of 2.
First one. There we go.
3. Perfect.
Making up quite a bit of time on this furnace.
Just Vor did also miss cycles in the next room, so let's see how it goes for upper. This room is the hardest one though to get all the cycles. Gets the first one so clean. Let's see. I think he'll get the second one. The Pistons were very kind there to wait for him. So there's a bunch of time save here.
I'm kind of curious if that was a, like, if you delay until after the beat goes through, it's possible that that just kind of fixes the cycle, because it kind of looked like upper waited a long time before that fireball at the top, so it might have been waiting for the downbeat to avoid having to rush the cycle.
Might be right. I think you can definitely, if you're attuned enough. The music, for those who aren't aware, is in Furnace is timed to the cycles of the Pistons. So if you're able to keep attuned to the music, can kind of predict the cycles and manipulate them. Oof. War got hit. Boss fights on both sides. War got hit the one time. But going very fast here. Hit him on more.
Yeah, that was a lot of deflects and damage on both sides.
Both runners going gung-ho with their hook shots and heavy slashes and parries here. Oof. Fast kill. It looked fast.
What is
No
that?
Nova.
112?
No Nova from Grandma, which means that she's a bit underdamaged from upper side. He's gonna have to wait for the spin phase to clean her up.
Do you remember what upper's PB was from before?
124.01 if I'm not mistaken.
This is kind of feeling like a 119, 120.
It is very fast. It is very fast. Yeah, it would be. It does look fast, is what I'll say. He's barely behind Vorime, so this looks very fast. So what time was his grandma? 113 something, I think.
Yeah, give or take.
Can check what his latest posted splits. That's kind of what we've been doing to figure out.
So in the PB submission, looks like Grandma split was a 114.30-ish.
Okay, so definitely on PB pace. Because he's going into Grey Crow now and it's 114.30-ish, so. Yeah, I know, for example, I know my grandma's like a late 112, so, and his was like barely behind that, so yeah.
Vorime falling off of the wall there. Almost gets the instant door.
Almost.
Not
yeah.
quite.
Honestly, getting that instant door makes this particular fight a bit harder to predict because you don't know how many hits you get in the dark. So if you like predict that you got all the hits in the dark, then you may then you're fine, right? Then you're good. But if you did miss any of them in the dark, then it's hard to tell. But yeah, he does get the first instant door. Notice he didn't go for the heavy movement there. Let's see if he does it in any of them or only for Betty. There you go. There's the heavy movement right there. Using the heavy to move around. Went too fast there. had moved a long time before the last lord jumped up, so showcasing the risks of that strat can eat some damage. It is
Yeah, I
faster
wasn't
though.
even considering that you could use the roll skip strats on every phase.
You can use it every phase and the last lord fight as well. I have seen him use it in particular in the last lord fight as well. But it does make every phase a lot faster. I've also adopted that personally, and I can say it's not super hard, especially if you don't do the heavy for the last attack. The third attack seems to be the most variable one, where the last lord seems to have a larger AoE damage.
Yeah, and it also looks like a bit of a bigger wind up.
Yep. So in the third one, if you just do the heavy and roll away, and then do the 3 light slashes after that, you always have enough time. The last lord is kind of hanging around. You have time to do it, so not an uncomfy strat. Anyway, the two big fights on both sides here. Upper immediately sniped with the unfortunate murderling. He's not able to get a huge amount of damage off before Grey Crow shoots away, and does a long pattern as well. 4-chainer is not the best, but with more murderlings. So down to 2. Grey Crow is showing signs of cracking now, so not the worst place to be.
Able to avoid the hitbox there.
Oh, scream, so Upper should have enough time to clean it up here. You can look at the last lord fight here from Vor.
And we just passed over the world record mark.
This is going to be a very, very fast time from Upper. I believe this is going to bop pretty much everyone except the top 2 runners the way he's going. So let's cheer him on. This should be a big PB. Good last lord fight. Meanwhile, from Vor, nothing really going wrong there. Wow,
117.43, and it's red. Imagine getting that time and seeing red.
Imagine getting that time in a race. My goodness, that is a hell of a performance by Vor. We will of course be watching very closely now as Upper finishes off his run and praying for a PB here. But big GG's to Vor. He does take this first game. With a stellar time. That is nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Upper going into the start of Gauntlet now. And I believe Upper will be going for similar strats where he will try to be rolling the last lord. Let's see if he goes for the first instant door, I guess, to start with. One of the spookier instant doors, for sure. Thankfully, Vor fell off the ledge on the right side, but you can fall off the wrong side and just lose a health. Upper, not even going for it.
Yeah, just taking the safe strat.
Yep. Here you go. Gets hit the one time. You saw him trying to walk away from the last lord there. Instead, if you just roll away, you still are enough range. Roll away, not too far away, of course. Keep in range to get the remaining 3 hits you need. It makes it slightly more comfy. But it does seem to have become the new strategy of choice. It's not hard to do if you practice it a bunch of times, and it saves a bunch of time as well. Upper now adapting, since he took the first hit, to just go with regular roll strats, count down the 15 hits, and move on to the next phase.
Yeah, it does get both instant doors so far, not counting the skipped one at the beginning.
I bet he's definitely gonna do this the strats again for Betty roll skip. This is the phase where these strats have the biggest payoff, of course. Clean execution.
Yeah, just not even going back and forth, just kiting right around left
Around.
there.
That is slightly different from what we saw from War, right? Like you said, War was going left and right. Upper just going all the way around. Doing a little twirl with the last Lord. And heads into the final fight. This is a crazy pace. Oh my goodness. Upper is gonna PB by a couple of minutes again, looks like, at this point. But let's keep our fingers crossed the last Lord fight goes smooth and fast. That's what we're looking for here. I imagine he's not going to go for these strats here though, because it is a lot more risk here. The last Lord doesn't die in 15 hits.
If only.
Imagine if you went through Gauntlet and then you faced up against just another Gauntlet version of Last Lord. That would be amazing. Alright, cat jams, Mathul jams, rat jams, whatever. Putting box raves, everything with this great music, and Upper just slashing away, going just slash heavy all around, exactly as you want to see. Very fast exit out of the stun, so he was able to get a bunch of damage, not baiting out any backhands there before this laser. That really, in the larger scheme of things, does not matter so much. Clean, hitless, going to roll through this orb here.
This is a really clean fight.
This is amazing. One more roll. Oh my god, this is some good RNG. Wow, what a pace. 122.30, big GG's. Oh my goodness. That, okay, didn't, thankfully I can say that I live for one more day, but that bops literally everyone else, I believe. That's crazy.
Vorime and TFT, and then that puts no wait, do you live another day? This is a 122.30. Goes
Yeah,
Vorime,
mine is-
TFT, and now Upper.
Mine is 121.49. Unposted yet, but you know,
All right.
it does exist, thankfully. So, but yeah, big GG's to both runners. Crazy runs. Oh my goodness, that was.
I undeafen the runners. How you guys feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good.
No, congrats on the PD.
Thanks. Apparently, I just need to constantly race and do nothing else.
Not just any PB Upper. That's crazy. Another almost couple minutes off. So
Yeah.
big GG's. That's just
What was Varime's time?
insane.
Out of curiosity.
Varime's time was 1:17.43. Also an insane time. Big GG's were within.
If you had been 6 minutes slower, I would have had you.
Yeah, that was a crazy fast run on both sides.
This is what we
Alright.
like to see. High quality racing.
All right, so Vorime does take match 1. We're gonna go into match 2. Take a quick intermission so the runners can take a quick break. You guys rest should take a break too. Be right back.